Actionable claim means beneficial claim. It can be recovered only by an action in a civil court. A share in partnership, arrears of rents are actionable claims. A owes 1000 rupees to B. B claim it is a actionable claim. A incur a debt of 1000 rupees. It is not actionable claim. A debt may be existing or occurring. A debt may be condition or contingent. Beneficial interest is a movable, not in a position of claimant. A agrees to sell to B some cotton. B claim is an actionable claim. A right to claim benefit of sales of movable is actionable claim. Case law is Anraj versus Government of Tamil Nadu, AIR 1986, Supreme Court, page number 63. And shares in partnerships are actionable claims, and claims for arrears of rent, claims earnest money of deposit, fixed deposits in bank, benefit due to under LIC, unsecured debts are actionable claims, and non-actionable claims are shares in company, claim to copyright, claim to men's profits, claim of mortgage debt, recovery right from co-sharer, secured debts. Notice is a acknowledgement of fact or becoming aware of fact. A person is said have notice when he has a knowledge about a fact. Actual notice is bringing the knowledge of fact directly and personally. Registration of document amount to notice from the date of registration. Registration is a notice to subsequent transferees only. Notice to an agent shall be treated as a notice to his principals. Definition of transfer of property. The transfer is a process by which something is made over to another. Transferor must convey a right to the transferee. Transfer is also known as a alienation. The transfer need not to be absolute. There may be a transfer of limited interest. Sale, gift and exchange are the examples of absolute transfers. Lease and mortgage are examples of limited transfers. The transfer must be made in the way of prescribed by the Act. The transfer must be reduced in writing and must be registered. Stamp duty must be paid as per the Indian Stamp Act 1899. The transfer of property is defined under Section 5 of the Act. The Act deals with the transfer between living persons only. Living person include a company or association or body of individuals. Court is not a living person within the meaning of Section 5 of the Act. Transfer made by court are not governed by this Act. An ideal of juristic person and capable of holding property. There must be a transfer between living persons only. There may be a transfer of property by person to himself. The transfer includes sales, mortgage, gift, lease and exchange. There may be a transfer of absolute or limited interest. The transfer may be made at present or future. The term living person includes non-natural persons too. The Act permits joint transfer and joint ownership. The transfer must convey right to the transferee. The Act enforces the transfer of a future after acquired property. So what transfer cannot be transferred? Generally, property of any kind may be transferred. Succession cannot be transferred. A mere right of re-entry cannot be transferred. An easement cannot be transferred. A right to future maintenance cannot be transferred. A mere right to sue cannot be transferred. A public office cannot be transferred. A stipend and political pensions cannot be transferred. A nature of interest cannot be transferred. The Section 6 of Transferee Property Act provides that the property of any kind may be transferred except otherwise provided by this Act, the any other law, the time being in the force. Oral transfer. Oral transfer means transfer without writing. Transfer may be made without writing. Writing is necessary for sales of immovable property. Writing is necessary for a simple mortgage. Writing is necessary for a lease of property year to year. Writing is necessary for exchange. Writing is necessary for a gift of immovable property. Writing is necessary for a transfer of actionable claim. Conditional restraining alienation. Section 10. Condition restraining alienation means restricting the transfer. Owner of the property has an absolute right to transfer. Condition restraining subsequent right to transfer is void. It is known as a rule against inalienability. It is incorporate rule of justice, equity, and good conscience. Absolute restraint to transfer is void. Partial restraint to transfer is valid. Condition not to sublet or assign is valid in case of lease. Condition restraining enjoyment. Section 11. Condition restraining enjoyment of property is not valid. Buyer of property has absolute right of enjoy property. Owner not to impose condition restraining enjoyment. Transferor may impose a condition restraining enjoyment of land. Bhagwat Prasad vs. Damodar Das case law. AIR 1976, ALL 411, page number. Transfer for the benefit of unborn person. Section 13. And rule against double possibility. White Bay versus Mitchell 1890 41 CH D 85. Unborn person is a person not in existing or not born. Transfer of Property Act limit the transfer between the living person. Property not to be directly transferred to the unborn person. Section 13 is an exemption to the general rule. Transfer to unborn person be preceded by a prior interest. Any number of life interest may be created. Absolute interest must be conveyed. Postponed of interest cannot be made beyond majority. Unborn person be in existence before death of estate holder. Transfer to an unborn person is subject to section 13 and 14.